right. Okay, I've got one eye here and I believe it's Maitham. But yes, I'm going to introduce Maitham to come up very soon. But I'm waiting for viewers to come up and then we can invite Maitham to come. Let's see. All right, viewers. The time is here. What time is it? Okay. All right, I know you are here, Maitham, but give me a couple of minutes and then I will invite you to come up here so we can start. But for now, yeah, I just want to figure things out here. A viewer. Okay, Maitham. Yes, I will approve very soon for you to come up, but I want you to hang in there for some time and we will wait for our viewers to come on board so we can start. So I'm going to introduce you and then I will accept you to come so we can start. Okay, we are going to start very soon. Yeah, we got 3 eyes here. Thank you, viewers, for being here. Excellent. Abnor say thank you for watching. Okay, I am trying. All right, probably when I invite her. Sorry, him. So yes, Maitham will be here very soon. I'm giving myself a couple of minutes and then we will invite Maitham to come. Yes. Yes, Maitham, you'll be coming very soon. Please give me some few minutes. The moment you've all been waiting for is here. Maitham Basha Agha is here, coming up here very soon. So viewers, come up here so we can kick start. Okay. All right, there's here 3 eyes here, 4 eyes here. Yes, thank you for being here. Today Maitham is somewhere around the corner in Ghana, and he will be here very soon. Okay, please, viewers, just comment and let us know what you think. Maitham will be here, so if you have any question for Maitham, you just have to comment down below in the comment section down below, and Maitham will answer to all your questions. Okay. But before Maitham comes, also I will say this: you can share this video for us or share the page. And also we are on YouTube, so all the recorded videos and all the live videos, we upload them on YouTube. And YouTube, our name is Native TV, so NATIV TV. So you search for Native TV on YouTube, or we have provided a link on this platform that will take you straight to our YouTube page. So you can just click on it and then go there and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch all the previous interview. I know Facebook is really hard for you to watch, previous interview because yeah, the news feed, it just goes so quickly. So it's really hard for you to search and search and search. So we have all the videos on YouTube, so you can go and watch it with heading. So it's very easy for you to pick which ones you want to watch. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Maitham very soon. Please share this video for us and also share this page for us. If you haven't yet liked the page, like the page, and also, you know, refer the page to your friends to like the page as well. Okay. So before Maitham comes, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our sponsors. Christ Embassy Church, they provide, you know, the studio for us to shoot all the recorded interviews there. We are so grateful to Christ Embassy Church. The address is 16 Hampshire Street, Atcherfield, and their services times are 10 a.m. on Sundays, 6 to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, and then 6 p.m. on Fridays. And they just introduce 15-minute prayers from Monday to Friday at 9 p.m. and it finishes at 9:15 p.m. So it's a very short time for you to, you know, get things quickly done. So you can, this prayer is on Zoom, so you don't have to go to the church, you know, it's online, so you can stay on your bed and, you know, enjoy these prayers with them. Only 15 minutes. So I think it's a good idea. If you are not a fan of this long prayers, you can join them. And also Nakins, they are well known for their beautiful and colorful kaftans. If you want to get, you know, kaftans from them, just hook, you know, just talk to me and I'll hook you up. That's what I can say. So anyway, our guest all the way from Ghana is an Iraqi American. He's a social advisor, social media advisor. He's a photojournalist, and he is a returned Peace Corps volunteer in Botswana. And he's also a community manager at Challenge Height, an organization that works to prevent child trafficking, reduce child slavery, and also promote child's rights. Okay, so Maitham Basha Agha, she's here somewhere, so I am going to invite Maitham to come up here so we can all chat. If you have any question, as I said, just put them down below and I'm going to read a question to Maitham so Maitham can answer all your questions. So we will go ahead and then invite Maitham. Yes, it says adding, so Maitham will be here very soon. And then we will chat with Maitham. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for being here. We are so grateful you are watching this video. Just share the page for us, like the page, and also, you know, word of mouth. Talk to other people to also like the page as well. So yeah, we are still waiting. It says adding, so I'm still waiting for Maitham to come up. All right, so let's go and invite Maitham again. For Maitham to come up. Okay. Yes, approved. Yeah. One you waited for a very long time, so this one should work. It's connecting. Yeah, so there's, hey, there we go. Welcome to the show, Maitham. I'm so happy you are here. So excited. Okay, Maitham. You know, when you accept my invitation, you know, some people are sending me a message how I got to know you and why, you know, how you accepted my invitation. It's like, yeah, I hit the jackpot. That is what I think. So thank you for coming here. I am so grateful. Me and my team, we are very grateful. Okay. A lot of people want to know you, who Maitham is, because you are, you know, you have a lot of fans on Facebook and your website and, you know, whatnot. You are a famous person and people want to know who Maitham is. So if I ask this question, who is Maitham? What will you tell us? Who are you?
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. And yes, I kind of get a lot of requests, but I choose them very carefully. So I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. I think you know, if from a social media advisor, you always research who you're really gonna talk to, who you always like do your research on the page, how the page operates, and all that. It's actually what I sit around a lot of tables and do. So first, I want to say that it's actually I am not a community person. Like, well, I am a community person, but my position is a communication for development manager. So I just want to emphasize on that. So my duties at this organization, but I tell you how I came up to this. So I was born and raised in Iraq. From, you know, I was born in 1988. Yes, you guessed it. I'm 30 years old, but we'll go ahead. So I was
Too
born. I
young.
actually, yeah. So actually, I was born in a poverty. I was born into a war zone. I was kind of, I saw it all from, you know, seeing guns, to seeing shrapnels, to seeing bullets, tanks, whatever. I seen it all. So I lived under that until the age of 12. I moved to United States of America under refugee status. And once I came to America, I didn't speak a single word of English, but I went to the school district, then went to high school, then college, and graduated with criminal justice degree, but I don't do anything with it, you know? So in 2014, I joined the United States Peace Corps as a kind of an HIV and AIDS school counselor. At the same time, I was teaching photojournalism because in 2000, in June, I should say, in May of 2014, I went to Iraq and I photographed the Syrian refugees in the north and the anti-ISIS protests when ISIS came in. So there was a lot going on, and my resume is but I think one of the most important things that a lot of people, and actually one a newspaper reporter interviewed me once and said to me, asked me the question, and I still yet to answer it, is, are you trying to tell your stories through the photos you take? And that kind of like had me for a really long pause. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be remembered as a photographer. I want to be remembered as a humanitarian. So after I finished my Peace Corps, I decided to stay in Botswana. But in between, I went back to my hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm a U.S. citizen. I hold a U.S. passport, and and a U.S. citizen. So I went back to do a series of photos on the refugees that reside in in my hometown. My hometown is about less than 100,000 people, but between about 10 to 15% are the refugee population, which everyone I talk about the population, it kind of gives me goosebumps because I'm really what I'm passionate about. And I want people to remember that, yes, I am a photojournalist, but at the end of the day, I want to be remembered as a humanitarian. So
Goody.
there's so much.
Good.
I don't know where
Let
you want me to end, so I'll just
no,
leave
no, no,
it
no.
there.
Come, it's very good. Yeah, I've got some people here who are saying hi to you. Una and Pamela. Hey, hello for being here.
Yeah, I
All
see
right.
you got some Botswana. You got Una's watching all the way from China. Look at that.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Okay, Maitham, as a photojournalist, sorry, as a photojournalist, what is your primary role?
So
And
in March,
people will be on this platform who want to know what a photojournalist do. So what is
absolutely.
your
So
role as a photojournalist?
yeah. So you take a photo as a photographer. You pretty much just like when you're photographing, you take a photo and you put it online. So like if you do a lot of fashion photography, you do a lot of travel photography, but I take my photos and I write about them. I write
Okay.
about the moment. How does that photo make me feel? What is in that photo? I write about it. And I'm very like a critical thinker. So I always think about, okay, If someone asks me to take a photo of this individual, I will immediately ask, okay, why is this individual? What's so interesting about this person? Is that person has a story to share? You know, I always ask these things. But what I want to, in this position, right where I'm at, is I went back to America on March 1st. I went back and I said, you know what? I'm not going to travel anymore. I'm just ready to kind of like settle down and stay in America. Cool, cool. Then later, came to find out as I searched for jobs, there was this, I see a communication manager posting in Ghana. I'm like, whoa, okay. I've been to Ghana once before. I'm just gonna try my luck. I tried my luck. And 3 weeks later, I got the interview. I think I made an impression on the president, and next day I was offered the position. And two
Yeah,
weeks
we
later,
will
I
come.
ended
You
up
know
in
I'm from
Ghana.
Ghana, right? We will talk much about Ghana.
Okay,
I'm
all
a
right,
Ghanaian.
absolutely.
Yes. So we will talk
All
much
right.
about Ghana. You've traveled a lot, like you've traveled everywhere, right? How many countries have you been so far?
So at the end of this month, right now, I'm sitting at 14 countries.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
All in
at the end
Africa?
of this month, no. At the end of this month, it will be 15. So hopefully. So
So
I
what country did
traveled.
you enjoy most? Which country do you like? I'm not trying to put you on
Oh
a
my
spot.
God.
I just
No, you can't do that. That's so
I just want to know.
unfair. Which country I enjoyed? Well, honestly, there's so much to look at it. If there's from the cultural perspective, there is the people perspective, and there's the scenery. I I enjoyed Cape Town, of course, the scenery. I enjoyed Botswana because people were very kind of welcoming and
Yeah, I was going to say Botswana because it looks like you've done a whole lot of job there.
I love Botswana. Actually, I'm scheduling my travels to Botswana as we speak. So, but I think when it comes to culture, I definitely appreciate West African culture. Like, I mean, I've been Ghana is a really beautiful. People are very kind of they show you they're like welcome you, but they're very proud. You know, the language is still there, the clothes is still there, and you know, as a photojournalist, there is so much you can do. But I think mostly dealing with the history. I think Ghana has a lot of history, and a lot of people kind of look at Ghana. It's not just a country that where the fashion comes from or you know the bloggers or the photographers come from, but to be honest with you, if you want history, you come to Ghana because of the slavery. It has so much history about the slavery and how it all started. I mean, I was just this past Saturday, I was at a river where the slaves were washed before were taken to the castles and stuff. So there's a lot. I think I can like there is so much how you pick a favorite country. I think you have to look at the whole aspect of it, like from culture and that and that. But you get my point.
Viewers, thank you for being here. So we are still on
Of course.
I'm talking to Nathan. Hello, hello, Tabo. Thank you for being here. So Nathan is still here to inspire us. Nathan, you know what? Hello, Victoria, yeah, Asari. Thank you for being here. I went to Google and I want to Google photojournalist. And then I saw something like, the skills needed to become a successful photojournalist. And then it says something here like the ability to handle stress and deadline pressure. What does that supposed to mean?
I think like I know I think sometimes I put myself in a situation in a very unwanted situation and difficult situation. I do. I think my mom sometimes kind of like I must say, I go weeks without even talking to my mom or calling my mom because I'm really busy or I hunt for my pictures or hunt for my stories. But I think sometimes you have to be prepared yourself. You are gonna be in a very difficult situations, and you have to really kind of deal with those situations. One of the most important thing whenever I teach this, whenever I lecture, when you go into a community, become part of the community. And in order to be a successful photojournalist, and to be honest with you, if I didn't have all that, I couldn't have all that success without my community integration in Botswana. I came, I knew, I connected with the top photographers. I connected with the top fashion. I connected with the top photojournalists in Botswana. And that's how kind of you have to become acquainted in the community. I cannot show up in the community and within 1 hour, I'm pulling up my big lens, I'm pulling up my camera, and I'm taking photos. You have to understand, people respect their privacy. And I always say, don't be afraid, go and talk to the person. If if I interviewed the 3 people out of the 10 that I asked, I feel like I succeeded at that. I interviewed that amount of people. But you have to prepare. And I tell people, and whether a mother, whether a father, whether a sister, if you have somebody who wants to be a photojournalist, you have to be really prepared that these photojournalists are going to go places. I put my mom through, excuse my language, through hell when I went to Iraq, and I traveled up to northern Iraq in the car, and I was literally about 20 kilometers from the headquarters of ISIS. I mean, if like the car driver would have made one wrong turn, I would have been done. But these are the risks that I perhaps take, and I'm a risk taker. So yeah.
Hello, Her Excellency. Thank you for being here. All right. Maitham, I read your, what you posted on Facebook today, and you sort of attach it with a link, and I click on the link, and they describe you as someone who shares your, refugee experience and also advise people to share their experience. Can you please share your refugee experience with this biggest platform in the whole wide world, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So my refugee experience, my goodness, I actually, I tend to focus on other people much more than my own story, because I feel, and to be honest with you, if it wasn't my refugee experience, I wouldn't be picking up the camera and taking photos of people. I feel very inspired by people. I connect very well with people. And if I don't tell people's story, I feel like I haven't accomplished anything. I think life really started for me at the age of 3. Yeah, 3 years old. My brother was 5, and my family and I, we were just walking down the street in Iraq, and a grenade was thrown towards us. The shrapnel from the grenade ended up getting in my back, in my upper arm, and then the shrapnels end up getting my brother in the eyes. At 5 years old, my brother lost his vision for the rest of his life. So he can't see, he's blind. But I think that's what made us stronger. In 1995, we escaped Iraq. Myself, my mother, and my brother, we escaped Iraq to be reunited with my dad, who in 1995, he received his residency to go to America prior of living 4 years in the refugee camp. So in 1995, we escaped to Jordan. We get there, and through the interviews we got our visa denied. So our visa was denied in 1995. We had to go back to Iraq. So we went back to Iraq, and 4 years later, that's when we kind of tried again, and that's when we succeeded at the interviews. So I feel like that's what really that's my refugee story. But I think people, I came to America, I was very hungry. I tell you that. I was 12 years old, but I was very hungry. I wanted to live the American life. I wanted to see what education like, because I really didn't have the opportunity in Iraq. So I think most of my refugee story focuses on my success, and I'm very grateful. I'm very humble, and every day is a learning experience for me, because I get to learn from others. I feel like people bring that positive vibe to me, and I love that charisma in people. But my overall refugee story is coming from nothing and making it into something. And yeah, my film, it premieres tomorrow. I won't be at the premiere, but I have a great team. I did it with an awesome people, and it's been 1 year in the making, and it premieres tomorrow in the United States, and where I follow it actually
Also,
based
you
on my
started
photo
this
series.
photojournalism just a year ago.
So yes, so it's actually the film.
Wow.
We did it like a year ago, but it's, you know how you do cuts and this and that and putting it all together. So it's a year ago. The photo series that I did was in 2016, right after my
Oh,
Peace Corps service. But
oh,
it,
okay.
in that photo, in the film, it is about my photo series, but I focused also about four refugees, from a child to a person who did his master's, to someone has a mechanic shop, to someone who's a dance teacher. So I kind of put all that together in 25 minutes, and they got to tell it all. You have a
You
child
sound
who's
like a
very much,
multi-task person. Seriously. You've done everything.
huh?
I said you sound like a
I
multi-task
think I
person.
put my hand wherever life takes me. Yeah.
This
So
morning I was
yeah.
just looking through your photos, okay? And that is where I got this question from. And I'll read it out, okay? And then I'll ask you questions on that. By 2017, there were 17.2 million of consent to the United Nations around the world. And out of that, less than 1% were resettled that year. How accurate is this data?
So actually, due to this, like, I honestly say, like, you get a lot of fake news, and you get the influence of social media and this and that, and there is the whole propaganda that, oh, you know what, you bring people from this country, they are Muslims and they're gonna commit all this, or you bring the Mexicans or people from this country to take the jobs and this and that. The data is kind of, it shows us that we are no longer receptive to these individuals, and that is what really sad about it. If you look at the refugee population, most of them are children under the age 18 years and younger. And one of the fascinating story I did that, where a couple who had a 17-year-old who was born in the refugee camp and lived for 17 years in the refugee camp. It was amazing. And the United Nations, you're supposed to resettle within 6 months. United Nations had to resettle you within 6 months. What the sad part is that we're afraid now. We are kind of closing our borders, and we kind of saying, you know what? Let's pay money to these refugee camps, or have these refugee camps get money wherever from, and kind of keep them there. If you look, there was a report that one of the largest refugee camp in the world, at Dadaab refugee camp in Kenya. It hosts a lot of Somalis. It hosts a lot of South Sudanese refugees, and there was talks that they were going to close it. But guess what? The whole Western region said, absolutely not. We will pay you whatever you want, and we want you to keep that open, because the process is very hard now. Where you got the traveling ban, you got the process of taking perhaps months to years, and that's the thing. It's like it's really amazing that the number is very accurate. The number is very high, and more refugees are being displaced around the world. I mean, if you look at Iraq, Iraq is a mess. You also have internal displaced refugees. You have people who escape their hometown to go and live somewhere else in a different town. That's internal displacement as well. So it's a lot. It's a large number, and it's gonna, to be honest with you, it's gonna increase. It's not gonna decrease anytime soon. Wars continue to happen. You look at Syria, you look at Iraq, it's not calming down. You look at South Sudan, it's not calming. And you look at now, you got the migration, the African migration, the slavery in Libya. So it's a lot.
So what it means is only less than 1% they are resettled. Where about
Mhm.
the rest? What happened to the rest? You know, where are they? Back in the refugee camp?
Absolutely. So if we look at it back at the refugee camp, so the process is, to be honest with you, is the lucky of the draw. What like to say, is based on luck. There are people who tend to resettle within a year, 2 years, and there are people who tend to
1% is too
there.
small. Like
It's
it's a
too
large
small,
number,
but if
17 point something, and 1%, less than 1%
absolutely.
is
If you,
nothing.
let's look at other countries. You get a lot of Western countries right now where they actually giving money to people who live in that country. So, for example, if you look at Australia, Australia had have a certain number of refugees, and what they do is actually they try to give money back to these individuals. So they give them money and they say, hey, take this 5,000 and you can go back to your country. We're gonna pay you to go back to your country. So you get a lot of there
But,
are a lot of programs.
but your country, back to your country is not safe, is it? If that is
It's
what they
not.
want you to
It's
do.
not. I mean, it's not just. I mean, if you look at the Middle East, it's like it's a mess. Like you got Iraq. Iraq is a mess. You got Syria. You know, you look at South Sudan. You Afghanistan. It's a whole conflict. But this is the thing is, and what happened is now a lot of these people tend to flee, but they don't want to go to refugee camp. They want to work through the process of trying to make it out of the refugee camp, whether you have an illegal refugee or illegal migrant, because they think the refugee camp is not going to do anything for them. So what they tend to do is they just go, like if you look at, you get people like going into Turkey. The goal is to get to Turkey, but the overall goal is to find your way up to Europe. We're talking about Germany, we're talking about France, we're talking about Italy. And they don't, a lot of people tend to not want to register in refugee camps because they believe that refugee camp is just going to hold them back.
That's really sad. You know, I'll ask you a question again about the photos, the same photos again. There's a data that says, according to 2015 census, a public data study states that immigrants are twice as likely to start a business,
Mm-hmm.
you know, than the native population. Why do you think resettlers choose business over school?
Uh, uh, so, you know, a lot
Why
of
did they
parents.
choose business over going back to university or you know studying, you know, to get a like a you know normal job? Like why is that?
Absolutely. So a lot of what happened is that if you look, there are a lot of, there are also the positive of it, of coming to America or moving to a different country. So, for example, in Erie, Pennsylvania, my hometown, the International Institute, what offers it offers a loan. If you come and you have, if you want to start a business, you receive up to $2,500. You start a business, but within 5 years, you have to pay that back, right? Also, what we don't really, a lot of, I like to remind people, like to understand is that a lot of these immigrants or refugees come to America are very educated. You have some of them who are doctors, had to flee. You have some of them who are lawyers that had to flee. But once they get to America or a Western country, they don't recognize their education. So when you do, your
Some of them
education is
recognize
not
it,
being
but you
recognized.
just have to. Some of them you just have to go to school for about a year, university for about a year or something, for you to, you know, actually work
But
in a
you got
country.
to understand, is the language is different. You by some of them already have families. They want to provide. They're not going to be able to pay back or go to school with such a limited fund. But you got to, and also we have to be very clear is that these people, these individuals, already have children who are maybe 15 or 17 or 18. The parents start the business, run the business, but the goal is to have their kids go to college, go to school and become a doctor, become a lawyer in America. So not I don't want to say necessarily it's a stopping point. I think they come and focus on businesses because that's what they want to do. But at the end of the day, they wanted to say, hey, son, I was a doctor in Syria. You go into school and you become a doctor here in America. And I tell you, like, I know very successful people who are mechanics, who are really, I mean, my dad works in a restaurant. You know, he doesn't make a lot of money, but he see his success in me, you know, or he see his success in my brother. He came from nothing, and he absolutely, and he's not the richest man, and he's not rich, but he still feel like. I get the question is why you go to these countries and you take these jobs where you can stay in America. I take these jobs because I want to pay back.
Okay,
I want
Maitham,
to pay
let's
back.
talk
I
about
want to
your
give to the community.
yeah, let's talk about your new contract. You know the film, what's the name of the film? Rust Belt, New
Rust
American.
Belt, yes,
Yeah, the Rust
absolutely.
Belt. Let's talk about that one. How do we, I mean, how do we get this film? We just want to watch it. Where do we watch it? How do we get it?
So,
Can you send one to me?
so wait, can you say the last one?
Can you send one, is it a CD, or can you send it to me, or send me a link or something so we can watch it? When is it coming out?
I I love it. I love it. So it's premiering tomorrow. There's a lot. Okay, I first I gotta say there's a lot of process. Yes, the film will premiere tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
However, we still have yet to.
Oh, sorry, viewers. I think Natim is frozen. We'll wait a little while. If Natim will come back. Hello, Susan. Hello, Chi. Hi, Tinashi. Thank you for being here. Hi, Victoria. Yeah. Hi, Abna. Hi, Her Excellency. Natim is frozen. This thing happens a lot. So I am going to go ahead and invite Natim again to come up. Natim again. Natim, it's sort of adding you. Hello, Russell. Thank you for being here. Okay, it's connected.
All right.
Natim
I'm so sorry.
is getting calls here and there.
I know. I think like my boss is starting to call it. Like, what's up? All right. So I want to answer that. So the film is premiering tomorrow, but we are not yet to release it online just yet. We are still
Okay.
finding out what the next step. We are looking at submitting it to film festivals and stuff like that. But you can go to Rust Belt New American Facebook page and on Instagram, and you can see the latest news and like up to dates. But I'm really hopeful that it will be accepted to a number of festivals. It's one of the first of its kind in my hometown. So I'm really excited to see what people think and where do I go from there.
All right. Now, Natim, let's talk about challenging heights. You know your organization in Ghana. I'm a Ghanaian, right? I told you I'm a Ghanaian. Yes. So, your goals is to end child trafficking in Ghana Lake by 2022, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So you are targeting this by using the program, which is the recovery, the rescue, prevention, and advocacy. So let's take it one by one, okay? So
Absolutely.
how do you rescue these children from trafficking? How do you do that?
Yeah, so Challenging Heights is a nonprofit organization. So we heavily depend on donors. So we get a lot of we ask for donations. Currently, we have a donation link right now, which is one with 1 day's wage, where we hopefully we're at the end of this month it will expire, but we're about $5,000. We still need $5,000 to raise. the overall goal is to receive that 14,000 fundraiser. So what we do is actually there. If you you're from Ghana, and you're very familiar with Ghana, and you have the Volt region, which is the largest man-made
Lake, yeah.
lake in Africa. So what
Yeah,
happened is,
the
there's
resource support, yeah, the resource side, the support will come later. But what I want to know is, how do you know this person is going to, traffic a child, or how do you, rescue these
absolutely,
children? How do
absolutely.
you know they are going
So
to, be sold or
we get a
something?
lot of tips. We get a lot
Okay.
of tips from the either the government, a lot of tips from the village chief. We get a lot of tips from the community, and
Okay.
we don't do it every day. We actually, there's a lot of things because of our child rights policy. This is actually, to be honest with you, one of the most strict position I have ever taken in my life. So everything I do is recorded, and everything I do is I have to kind of notify people. So, like, for example, I share a lot of photos, but some majority of my photos, when you see them, you will see without faces, because what happened is we actually have, so we rescue these children, and we rescue them based on tips and based on a lot of, you get some parents who will say, oh, but this person told me he's going to this place to do this and that, but I haven't seen my son in 5 years. Also,
Oh, okay.
you have high poverty rate. So we say that, and we have, according to statistics, that a child is sold for $18.
Oh
eighteen
my
dollars
goodness. So how do they
Mm-hmm.
recover from this traumatized event? How?
Absolutely. So we have children as young as 5 years old. So once they get rescued, we take them to a shelter. We have our own shelter, which I cannot disclose the location of the shelter due again to our rights, to our policies. So we take them to the shelter. We educate them. We give them resources. We teach them how to do math. We teach them how to take read and learn English language. And recently, we just finished a computer lab in the shelter, like on the site, that was donated by the Australian Aid, actually. So next month, they'll be coming to the shelter, and they will see all the computer lab. It's a beautiful, it's amazing. We have number of kids, so our goal is to rehabilitate them and take them back to their family. If we can find someone for them, we usually ask for, maybe someone would like to, kind of like an uncle or a grandmother or something like that. But sometimes we have children that we don't tend to do that. They just tend to stay at the shelter. But our overall goal is to rehabilitate them and take them back, reintegrate them in the community.
Okay, so the last one is prevention. How do you prevent this barbaric act? Like, how do you prevent that?
Absolutely. A lot of pressure. There is a lot of pressure. If you look at the recent report that was released by the U.S. Department of State, released by the U.S. Department and the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, if you look at the report, challenge in height actually is on the last page. So we're very proud of that. It's called the TIP report. The TIP report, the trafficking report. And with that is Ghana just recently moved from a level up, moved a level up of fighting these issues, but there's still a lot of work. Our overall goal is to eliminate child trafficking by 2021. But to be honest with you, in realistic, we don't know where that will end up. But that's our overall goal. There is a lot of pressure on certain type of parties, as you know, I can't mention that because I'm a foreign and I work in a foreign country, so I really can't say much
No,
on the political side
it's
of it.
okay. What about your advocacy? How do you do that? Can you enlighten us a little bit about the advocacy side?
Yeah, absolutely. So our overall goal is here is to kind of like spread the word. We spread it a lot through our social media. We're very big at social media. We're very big on
Yeah,
communication.
that is how I got to
Uh,
know you anyway.
Absolutely. So the person actually before me who was sitting at this chair that I'm sitting did an absolute amazing job on putting the company on social media and doing a lot of great stuff. And my goal is to continue that. But I also do my advocacy through my personal page. I'm not a big opening my own page or Maitham Basha personnel, whatever. I'm not big on that. I like to do everything through my own personal page because I feel like I just don't want to double my work. And even when I do social media advising, I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't create another page. You're not Kim Kardashian just yet. But so my whole overall goal is to put, yeah. So my overall goal is to put that on my Facebook, on social media. But to be honest with you, we also have other programs. We are also very large in the community. We trying to help as much as possible in the community. We get a lot of volunteers from the United States, from the UK, from abroad. They come and they work at a school. And we also have the youth empowerment program. We have a program where it actually help people how to fix all cell phones and kind of like refurbish them. So with that, a lot of these individuals end up opening their own business and end up doing a lot of great stuff. We also have the Women Power Club where they actually like know how to like teach them how to do beads and do all this stuff. And it's amazing. I think it just there's a lot of programs and our overall goal, yes, we are an anti-child trafficking agency, but there are other branches, and my overall goal is to speak on that wherever I communicate with donors.
My next question is going to be how much help do you get from, the government level, community and individual? But I think you just, sort of answered most of them here. I just want to know how much help do
Yeah.
you get from the government level, like up the top? How much help do you get? I'm talking about Ghana. How much help do you get from the government level? It can be financial resource, human resource, any other resource. How much help do you get from the government level?
Let me say we collaborate. We do our best to collaborate, but there is still a lot of work that needs to happen. That is the best I can put it.
Okay.
We're
Hello,
talking
everyone.
about a lot of work in prevention, a lot of work on funding. I honestly think like uh, as some things you can't just keep relying on uh, people from outside, but I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to happen here. And my overall
Okay.
goal and the agency's overall is to advocate for that.
All right. So how certain are you, Maitham, for this goal, by 2022? How certain are you?
Let me be honest with you. I think it's we always tend to put uh, a plan or a timetable, but at these social issues, you just can't put a timetable on
Yeah.
it. If you look at wars, you look at a lot of homelessness, you look at all these, you just can't put a timetable. Don't get me wrong. I think we're every day here working to achieve a certain type of goal, but I'm not gonna put a timetable on that. No way.
Okay.
No way.
All right. On your Eastern, I'm sorry, Challenging Heights page, right? There's a photo that says a lot. The cover photo. There's this lady who is overly excited. I think he saw the sun and he was overly excited, and both of them are running to,
Absolutely.
hug each other. I mean, this
Uh-huh.
photo is telling me that the woman doesn't know the child is gone. Okay. But some people also told me, when I was researching, some people also told me that sometimes their parents give them out. So I just want to know which is which. Why do their parents give them out for trafficking or any member of their family? I'm not really sure. What is happening there?
Yeah, so let me emphasize that. Like, $18 in America, I can make that in an hour or two. But for some people, $18 in a country or here in the village or in the town, it's a lot of money. Okay, it is a lot of money. So what happened is actually you have parents or uncles or aunts who are selling this child. But actually what we tend to see is the people who actually take these individuals or kids back are actually the grandparents. The grandmother or the grandfather end up taking these children back because they learn later, like, oh my God, where is my grandson? Where is my granddaughter? And for so long, sometimes the mother can't even answer that question. So we see a lot of it actually, the grandmother and the grandfather tends to take these children back. But also you got to understand is that we have a long way to go. And a lot of these parents tend to never see their children because they end up dying on the lake. One of the things that we solely believe why that is because a lot of the nets end up getting tangled on the bottom of the lake, and they will send a child or number of children down to untangle these nets, but the children end up the one being tangled in the net and they can't come out. So yeah, we believe that when children do die on the lake, they die because of that.
Yeah, let me understand this. So let's say the parent or the member of the family, the grandmother or uncles, will take these kids to the water lake, and then they exchange them. They take the dollars, how many, $18 or whatever it is, and then they give them to whoever is going to take them. From there, where do they take them? Do you know where they take them to? From the water region, where do they go? You don't know. Where
No,
do they go?
they sold to a slave master who they sold to a slave master who is probably who's a fisherman who has maybe 10 who bought 10 or 10 up to a number of kids, and that
Also, they
his
stay
goal is
in
to get them
Ghana.
on.
So they keep them in Ghana. It's not outside the country. They
This is
keep them
all
in
on the
Ghana.
Volta. This is all on the Volta region. This is all on the lake. These children don't leave. These children are on the lake. These children are living around the lake.
Okay. Okay, now I understand.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But this is how we kind of get tips. We get tips. Oh, hey, we see this child.
All viewers, Maitham is frozen again. We will see if he will come back. If not, we are going to invite him. Yeah, we have few minutes to finish. Yes, Maitham is back.
All right. So yeah, so these children are our overall goal, but at the end of the day, we have to prepare and we have to really be aware of how we're gonna carry our mission whenever or our rescue. No one we don't tell about a lot of people about when we're doing this or where we're doing this or how we are doing this. There's very few numbers of people know when we take these on these rescues.
All right, Nathan, this will be my last, I think my last but one, question. What I do for my guests, I give them the platform, freestyle for them to pour their heart out, okay, as an advice or, whatever you want to say. I am also in Australia and we accept, refugees here. And so I know a lot of, Australians are watching this. or, probably you never know, the government will watch this, who knows? And, there are other countries as well who also accept refugees. I want you to use this platform just to reach out to them. Just tell them whatever you want to, tell countries that accept refugees. Because I was a bit,
Absolutely.
I was, yeah, it was
Yeah.
very sad when I read that data about 17.2 million, and only few
Absolutely.
get the chance to,
Uh-huh.
to resettle.
Yeah.
So use this platform and then reach out to
All
these
right.
countries.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. I love doing this, and I tell you, like, I do it very, very limited number of time, and I'm very cautious. But again, thank you for the opportunity. I think it's awesome. You're a great interviewer, and I really thank you for contacting me. And it's an awesome interview overall, and you're doing a great job, and keep going. I do want
Thank
to say,
you.
I think we're all on this earth for a purpose. We all are humans, no matter what color we are, no matter what religion we are, no matter where we came from. We all have a mission and a duty to respect one another with an open arm and with a genuine heart. I didn't decide overnight to escape Iraq. I didn't decide overnight that I'm going to go to America. I had to flee my home because of guns, of weapons of war. If I didn't leave home, who knows? I would probably be one of the thousands or millions of victims who died under the Hussein regime. I am escaped successfully. I am grateful that I went through the process. But I do want to say not everybody get the same opportunity as I did. A lot of people, thousands of people, millions of people want to be in my chair. Million of people want to have the same opportunity that I had, and million of people want to continue to have the same opportunity as I will do in the future. We all come to America, we strive, we are hungry, we are mentally devastated, but we have a lot of trauma, but we tend to overcome it. And I believe that we all need to understand that. I am not here to take anybody's job. I fight for the same job as you do, probably 10 times harder than you are. My resume, it speaks for itself. I am a refugee, but I fought. I was educated in America. I received my degree in America. I worked in America. And I continue to do this work because that's what my heart is telling me to do. I, believe it or not, I turned a $37,000 salary to come to Ghana because I believe my mission is not about making money, but my mission is to give back. And I came here because I wanted to give back to the people. I want to give back to the community. And I believe we all obligated. We are obligated to give back. We are obligated to accept one another. And I just want to say to the people that please, we are here just like you are. Some of us are just know we are come from. If you look at our ancestors, if you look back, we this world is a migration world. People tend to go to Europe, tend to go to America, tend to go to wherever. It's migration, and that's how it works. And the refugees are victims, are survivors, are thriving for success. And the overall goal is to treat us and give us equal opportunities. And one of my goals, and whether I'm here, and I've been grateful that I use social media as a tool for my advocacy and my work and my communication. One of the goals is to work with local government, and my goal is to stay pushy on the local government back home that the government needs to invest in the refugee population. Because if you look at a lot of, like you read the statistics, refugees do bring businesses, do like to start their own businesses, do it create opportunities. And we are here to live life and create opportunities as for the refugees, but also for the local community. We pay taxes. We go and educate ourselves. We pay student loans. We do all that.
Oh, we hope these countries are listening to us. So if you are here, you are you are a viewer, share this video for us, so other countries will just listen to Maitham. Thank you very much, Maitham, for coming. Yeah, I'm so grateful. You know what? I like selfless people. That is why you caught my eye on Facebook. You thrive, you go out of your way just to support community. And I like people like that, okay? More power to you, great job. And I mean, you are my fan. Basically,
Thank you.
you are my
Thank
fan.
you.
So thank you
I
so much,
appreciate it.
and may Allah bless you. Whatever you are doing, may Allah bless you and more power to you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you. All right.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
yes, so we were on this chat. Yes, bye.
Bye.
All right, viewers. That was Maitham, the photojournalist, social media advisor, community manager for Challenge Height, which is an organization set out to prevent child trafficking, reduce child slavery, and promote children's rights. Maitham, we really enjoyed Maitham's presence here tonight. So we are going to leave this video on this platform. So if you just join in, you can, watch the video all over again. And then you can share the page for us. You can share the video for us. If you have not yet liked the page, please like the page so it will reach the mass and people will know about this page. I really enjoyed this interview. Thank you very much for this, Nanekia Bacha. Oh, thank you so much, Iman. You are also coming here very soon. You are coming to the hot seat. Awesome interview and great work he's doing. Yes, yeah, Tabo, he's doing a really good job. I don't know why this man just caught my eye on Facebook and I decided to, interview him because he has a lot, to share. Thank you very much for being here. As I said, we are on YouTube. We will upload all the videos, the recorded videos and the live video on YouTube. So if you miss anything, you can go to YouTube, Native TV. You can go and watch the, the previous interviews. There. Like the page. Please comment. Let us know what you think. Please refer people to like the page as well. You can share this page so people can also like this page for us as well. Thank you very much for being here. Your presence here means a lot to me and the Native team. And we hope you'll be here next time for exciting interviews. Thank you. And I will see you again in my next video. My name is Nanekia Boachwa, Efifa Afwakwa. Bye.